Hello, Danky. This is part two of the Swiftwater review. We're gonna try and finish the map. Um, Third point's a little bit different than second on attack and defense. This is where you kind of are able to do a little bit less, I think, is the attacking spy. There's a few good spots that you should remember that are really useful, but for the most part, this point of the map it can get a little bit rough to force things, and you're kind of relying on your teammates to make a lot of the things happen. You can give good information, and there's a few spots you can use to maybe help get those picks instead. And I can show you them. Oh, but I will go over how it's generally pushed. Generally, this point is you trade in Red Room as an Uber exchange from the combo, while the card is pressured from below, and then the attacking side also wants to situate their sniper up here in apartments on this monster sightline. And a lot of the times the flank will have to defend. Sometimes even a spy will come up here and defend our sniper and just babysit him. Because sniper up here is pretty much the strongest thing that you can get as the attacking team. And the only way he dies up here is to the enemy flank or to the SVS. But if he wins the SVS and he's up here, it's pretty strong. And usually you guys will win the point shortly after, especially if he's hitting his shots. So usually if I feel like I can't do anything down there, I'll just come up here and help protect my sniper, with the revolver, looking out for spies, calling if their flank's jumping in, etc. But yeah, so the two spots for this map that I usually go to are in the lockers room. Sometimes the pyros don't check this very much, and you can kind of get away with just really, cloaking, running down main, and kind of walking into the staircase area, and I kind of camp here and like if I know the sniper's here, I just look and try and get the sniper. It's a good pick on this point. I mean, if your sniper gets up there, now there's no SVS to take. It's usually really solid. The medic normally sits in the dispenser here, so it's really hard to get up to this medic most of the time. The pyro's pretty much just, up here, like between these two areas, so I'm pretty much suiciding for this pick. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. Other times I'll go for the engineer. Also a pretty solid pick, one of the better ones on this point. And so this is normally where I play. Sometimes, I'll come from this side. Sometimes I'll literally just walk up here and, decloak right from on the platform and just try and walk around. It's kind of small. And there's some corners. This like barricade does provide some cover for decloaking, so you can kind of get away with it. But usually there's nothing that you're gonna get just off the bat that's really broken. Other than that, the best spot that you can really use on this point is probably this corner. At high level and against better players, this corner is pretty much perma-checked by the defending team. I mean, the Pyro just comes in and flames it every once in a while. The Heavy rounds the corner and shoots at the Demo. Will lob a pipe in here every once in a while. Because the spot's actually really good, because what happens is the Demo likes to come around this corner and spam stickies against the enemy combo, against your combo. And getting in this spot basically just lets you wait for him to jiggle the doorway and you get a free pick on him every time. So it's a really good pick, and this spot's really good at that. It's also nice if you can kind of come from apartments. Sometimes I'll decloak like this, and I'll be able to I can spot the trap here if there's a trap and let my team know. I can, kind of hover in this corner, maybe wait for them to check it and then take the spot and say, hey, can you guys walk in soon? And, try and get the exchange going fast before the pyro gets to recheck it and I can stab this demo. If you want to go there and they actually are checking it, you just have to have really good timing and you gotta dodge the pyro and definitely get your team to engage with them so the demo's actually occupied looking forward. Outside of that spot, there is something that you can do that you should know. You can make this jump here. I've almost never used this, but I think it's useful to know. It takes a really long time to set up, but maybe if like, I don't know, somebody's blocking a doorway or something, you need to get up here, you can do this on attack, just to get up into apartments and get to the sniper, or to help, protect your sniper, or to maybe fight flank a little bit faster. The other thing you can do is sometimes you can fight in their flank. Attacking the defending flank while they're engaging with yours is not bad, just playing with your teammates. Sometimes, I like see them, I can like spot them from here or just see where they're going, and I can say, okay, I'm gonna help my flank fight here and just decloak and try and fight on the staircase with them. Like I said, third point for spy attack is not too much to do. I usually just play in this like locker room or this corner. I definitely try and mix it up, and I have a bad habit of not using this corner enough, I think. But it's definitely, you just gotta find stuff to do. Protecting your sniper's good. Going for that. Going for any picks up here on the sniper or the NG solid. Uh, Sometimes I'll just come here and I'll spam the gun with the enforcer. Definitely a good option. And kind of play back here. Any players you can pull is always solid, so it's not a bad option. Other than that, sometimes the heavy will sit on the window. You can kind of walk under him and kill him. He'll sit on this little ledge. Pushing the cart is solid as always. Getting on the cart is always a great option. Just to pressure it a little bit, get it closer and closer. This cart, you have a lot of cover. You're not really going to get shot from the back because of the silo, so you can kind of decloak on it, sit on it a couple seconds, and run away, and keep edging it closer and closer. And it's definitely a good thing to do. There is one more thing that's pretty good. I don't think I've only done this maybe once or twice in a game. It requires a lot of time to set up, and you got to dodge a lot of players to get here. But if you're able to get to this spot, maybe with C and D, you got a pretty good spot to have a chance to drop the medic, or even really wait for your combo pick here, and decloaking here and going for it. But if you do somehow get here, you probably want to be running stock knife instead of spicicle. But it's really tough because the only way you can get up there is being able to round this corner on a timing error, and if you're able to walk all the way across here, even invis, you probably should have just gone for a pick on the medic. I don't know. It's tough to call. If you can get up here, it's pretty good. I want to say you can make this jump from the opposite side, but every time I practice it, I've never really been able to get it anymore. But you're really close, so maybe it's a tight timing and you can make that jump, but it's just something to know. Let's see, what else? On attack. Most of it's just, I think the best thing you can do on attack is probably help your sniper or maybe play in that corner or get a sniper pick yourself. I kind of just rotate between the three. I try to use something and get there. I don't really like spamming the gun because it is kind of boring and sometimes it feels like you're not going to do much, but if you coordinate with your team and spam the gun, you guys can get the gun really fast, especially if you're running enforcers. So definitely keep that in mind, especially if you feel lost. Defaulting to the gun is not a bad idea. And sometimes if you feel lost, taking a step back with the cloak and dagger and like a spicicle and just sitting close and watching, where players are is a good option too. You don't have to feel like you have to go in all the time and die on respawn. Definitely take your time more. Something I'm still trying to get better at. For defense, on the other hand, I actually really like this point on defense. I think this is one of my favorite points to play on defense on this map is spy, because I like the position that you get to stand when you're watching. As defense, you have two options. You have two things you got to do. You got to monitor where the combo is. Most of the time, they're on this little grassy area outside of apartments. Outside of Red Room. And then you have to make sure that you're in a position to get to the sniper if he's ever up top. It's pretty much your job to kill the sniper, or you should definitely be going on him. So a lot of the times, I think the best spot to get to is on this platform. This basically lets you monitor the combo the entire time, and you get to see where the sniper is. If he's up here, you should listen to your team for if the sniper's called. You should be calling if the sniper goes up here. You can quickly rotate down into the grassy area, or you can even go through here and look for drop-down stabs on the post-uber fight. Or you can rotate here and look for stabs on the sniper. I think if the sniper's up here, it's absolutely worth trading your life to get this pick. The sniper up here is very dangerous, and as long as you can guarantee go for, you don't want to just jump down and die for him and not get the kill, but if you can get the kill on him, you should absolutely trade your life, even if someone else is there to protect him. This drop down stab is pretty hard to prevent, and usually you can tank a rocket or two and tank a rocket and get the kill, so absolutely worth going on the sniper here. Usually the main priority is killing that sniper if he's up in apartments, and then playing post-uber is also really solid. Obviously, getting to that spot on the platform won't be an option all the time, especially because it takes a lot of cloak to get there. So sometimes, I just play around the truck. I looked like this, try and move slowly, not burning too much cloak, just getting in a better position every single time I can, and slowly getting over here. If you do run out of cloak, you can always pick up this one. You can always refill underneath the staircase, etc., and try and get up here. Sometimes you can even come over here and spot like and delete their combo and wait for them to push in. You can call debt timing for your demo if he's not in the room. You can spot, if anyone walks in, maybe if the spy wants to walk into that corner yourself. This isn't my favorite place to stand because I think it does get checked occasionally, but it's okay. And then you're a pretty good position to rotate here. The only problem with this spot is that you actually can't see when the combo leaves. You'll see them not be here anymore, but you don't have a good angle to spot, where they rotate to. Like, are they just building up here, backing up and building? Are they going to come down main? Are they going to rotate to this apartments area and even make a push out of apartments as a combo? You're just not in a good spot to spot. That's why I usually go here or even just on this grassy area looking and seeing what I can go to and where the players are. Again, defense spy is all about communication, so just focus on calling where their combo is, focus on the sniper, and make your lives count. I don't really go in any picks over here. When all the players are here, when all the combos here, and our team's just kind of waiting for them to exchange into us, I don't normally go for much. Sometimes, if they're at a huge disad and and the medic's kind of forced into this room, I actually think calling a use into them is pretty good. So if your team has full Uber and we're like trading with them like this, jiggle peeking, and their medic's pretty much in the room, you can actually do the traditional just blocking their path, their exit out as spy, and you can maybe get this pick on the medic. I don't normally like to blind walk around this corner because the pyro doesn't have too much to do, so he is usually checking. If the heavy's with them, he's also checking, so that's not always the safest. But if you coordinate with your team well and you just make sure you provide to block their escape, you can usually drop this medic before he uses his Uber or before he even gets Uber if they're over pushed. Just try and make the call if you think it's really good, and we can go for it. Or we'll say, no, we don't want to Uber into them right now. We want to hold Uber and hold off. So, what is something to consider? Outside of that point, outside of like holding back there as spy, sometimes you'll be forced to play here, defend the cart a little bit. The cart pushers are usually looking this way as a lot of players, so then when they come around the corner, they're hiding behind the cart. Playing right here is not bad. I've definitely gotten picks this way. I'm pretty much permanently running Spicicle DR on this point. There's not much else to run. I mean, Spicicle Cloak and Dagger, sorry. Not much else to run on this point. I mean, you could maybe get away with running stock and be fine. It's probably okay. But again, I just like to have the Spicicle just in case you get randomly flared or, you're trying to lurk the combo some and the pyro maybe just runs towards you and bots towards you. At least you have a chance to get away. If you're running stock there, you die. And because of your timing, normally you're going to get the stabs when the combo's initiated or in the poster because the pyro's got to look forward to deny all the spam coming at them. So usually have a pretty good chance to not worry about your knife getting burned. Trying to think of any other spots I use on defense. I usually just like to sit around here and rotate around. The spot's a I actually think third is a pretty strong hold. This third hold is probably better than the fourth, and normally what happens is teams will hold second really hard, almost wipe, they'll reset on third if they can, and then they'll hold third pretty hard, and then their fourth will be weaker. So I don't really get to play a lot of time on fourth, and all the teams I've played on, fourth defense is normally blasted through. Occasionally you'll be able to hold fourth for a while, but third is normally actually a pretty solid hold, although I don't think it's supposed to be, but it's usually how the games end up going. For defense, just, I don't know, you can play around here. You can play more combo oriented. If notice always, you can always hold tab and check the scoreboard, see who's really impacting the game. If we're really complaining about the sniper, maybe you don't really worry about the combo. Maybe you're just trying to hard track the sniper, play near him, take him out as much as possible so he doesn't have as much uptime. But if the sniper's not much of a priority, like he's bottom scoring, or our sniper's, cleanly winning the SVS every single time, or our flank is, hard holding him where he can't even live in apps, you can focus on getting combo picks more, maybe even playing a little bit more aggressive. But, just you got to read the situation. You can always ask, where you think you're needed. and you can make some judgment calls yourself. So, I think third is an okay point. I think defense is a little bit more enjoyable than offense because you're pretty much your positioning can really help you be anywhere on the map, and you get to fight because you can go at the sniper up top, and the exchange happens pretty fast here, or you can play cart some and defend the cart. So you have quite a bit of options on defense here, and you get to play a little bit more aggro than normal. Uh, on attack, again, just as a quick review, attack spy is I usually use the locker room. Sometimes I come up here. Shooting the gun is always good. Don't forget to use this spot over here in the corner if you can get to it. And honestly, sometimes if your team is not doing a good job of protecting your sniper, if Carl or our sniper is complaining, just coming up here with your revolver and just sitting behind him and making sure the spy can't decloak on him from the corner. I mean, you know where the spy wants to come from. Being able to defend your sniper, and you can spot through these windows to see if a soldier jumps up, and just try and help defend him. The extra damage really does matter to keeping him alive, so definitely something to keep in mind. But yeah, I think that's about it for third, so we can go ahead and move on to fourth. For fourth, I like to run. I will say right now that the Enforcer is pretty much runnable on the entire map. It's a good gun. The Wrangler sentries, a lot of the times all you can do is shoot the sentries, so it's definitely not a bad idea to just run the Enforcer. So I might run something like this. This might be the loadout I go with. I know a big mistake on attack that I used to make a lot is that a lot of the times, because this is our spawn now once we cap third, a lot of the times I would try and cloak and run through here. And it's really, not only is it hard, you eat a lot of spam, you also don't have much cloak to get all the way across. So you gotta really book it and not be able to make any turns or you're gonna get spotted. Instead of going down main, I pretty much never go main anymore. I just say, you know what, I'll take the extra 3 seconds to walk around here and to walk through this door and to just come garage and decloak out garage. It's pretty much better. You always you get a lot more cloak timing to get across the yard. You're basically dodging no spam, maybe a few scouts or soldiers strafing, but you can get back here with able to recharge completely cloaked, get HP, and now you're in a position to maybe do something. Up here is a good place to spot on defense and offense, but you get a lot of information. You can see where the players are playing. You can see the isolated players. And again, just like on attacking second, when the sniper went towards the mansion and that light bulb, if you ever see the sniper on any of these back areas, on maybe on the catwalk or behind this, like on this platform, or even back on the house, he should pretty much be dead. You shouldn't allow him to play there. You want to go for him immediately. Make sure he's out of the game, and not let him play here. If he's the sniper's gonna play the game, I pretty much want him to be playing inside the combo, and maybe on this tree. Sometimes if they're playing the tree a lot, you can get away with just decloaking right here and walking around. A little risky, but if he's playing kind of isolated around the tree, it's definitely possible. It's not a bad decloak spot all around the tree because it's a little bit darker. You have some field of vision blockers and some vision blockers, so if the sniper's playing isolated around here, it's not a bad pick. Outside of playing around that tree and defending not letting any players come back here like snipers or anything, this spot is actually really good. Getting up here, you can play for a lot of drop-down stabs. I know in my tryout for the first ever or the first scrim I ever played, I used this spot to open up the team, and I just jumped out of this platform, and I went for 2 hero picks, and I ended up getting them. So don't underestimate jumping out of this. And Fish's last official in Swiftwater, my mentor, he pretty much saved their game by just dropping out of here and going for the med drop, even with the Pioneer, and he was able to get it. So that spot's very, very solid. Definitely use this spot if you guys are behind or you're running a bomb or something. Really good spot to just force something if you feel like you haven't done anything in a while and the team isn't pushing or, playing for a post-Uber situation or something. So just keep it in mind. Definitely a good spot. Outside of this, I actually think standing on this platform with your revolver and just shooting at the players or even the dispenser is actually a really good pick here. Just shooting the dispenser pretty much makes it where The defending Pyro and the defending Heavy actually don't have ammo anymore. They're not going to be able to recharge ammo. There's only one small pack. The engineer has to come up and deal with it. It's actually not bad to shoot the dispenser. Now you have about 9 players looking behind them, trying to say, hey, look, there's a spy up there just being a nuisance. Someone go deal with him. And you actually relieve some pressure for your team. A good thing to remember is spy doesn't have to get kills to make an impact. You can make impacts in other ways through communication, through distracting, through stalling players. Just being alive itself is a fear tactic. I mean, I know that as Pyro, if the enemy spy is dead, I don't even worry about looking behind. All my attention is now focused forward. But if the spy's alive, even if he hasn't done anything in 5 minutes, I still have to be cognizant that he's alive. Maybe he'll go for a play soon. I gotta be able to turn around and check and make sure that that spy's not coming in. So just the fact that you're alive, even on attack or defense, is very, very a big mental game against the enemy team. So prioritize, staying alive, being a nuisance, trying to distract anyone. You can't really get many picks on this point because, again, all this open area is kind of bad for spy. It's a lot of ground to cover to go for any picks, so it's kind of hard to get them. I pretty much never play yard. I don't really go for picks in yard unless I absolutely think that we need it or I can get away with it or they're backstrafing a weird way. I normally just kind of play around this platform. You get the most options out of this platform, the most chances to make plays. You can go for the jump stabs. You can drop down into the underground for stabs, the ball pit area. You can make sure you deny the sniper. You can just shoot at people and annoy them. And it's usually how I play. There is one other spot you can keep in mind. Playing down here is not bad, actually. If you know that your team wants to sack soon, you can, play around here and just walk up and sap the gun, which is normally on this slope. And it's honestly coordinated sacks on fourth are pretty solid if you use your teammates and your team calls for a sacking play or the soldier wants to bomb. Making sure you sap this gun and letting him get in is pretty solid. It especially allows your team to walk forward, so definitely not a bad play. Sometimes you can also kind of just walk out of here and look for the NG pick while he's hitting the gun and getting the gun is pretty solid in the NG. So sometimes playing down here is pretty solid. There's a pack, some HP to play with. And the Pyro and the rest of the combo is normally up here, so what happens is they're fighting, our team's walking into them, okay, they're going to drop back, now they're like looking like this, the medic's looking forward, healing his players, trying to help out, and you have a pretty decent chance of actually walking around this corner and getting a pick, so don't forget to use underneath, and then up here as well. These are the two best spots, I think, on the point for the attacking spy and shooting. And the key factor of getting to that spot is getting behind them, so to save you the time of dying and making bad mistakes, every time you come out of the spawn door, just walk out of this one and walk to the left. You can spot undisguised or cloaked if you want. You can look around and you can you can see everything as you walk across this major point. So just use a garage as your way to get out. Don't even worry about main. It's not worth your time. One thing that I think is not bad is you can also play bodyguard for your sniper. Again, your sniper wants to get to this garage area and take picks. Defending your sniper is not a bad option. The more players we have on our sniper, the more he can do well. So, if Carl's having a really good game, he's making a lot of plays, but he's not being protected well, maybe you can be the one that helps defend him more and make that difference. So, just keep it in mind. Maybe if sniper's dying a lot, maybe I'll just ask you to do it, but sometimes you can do it for a little bit of downtime. Maybe you just respawned and there's not much to get in there right now. You feel like the last 2 lives you were back there, you didn't do too much. Maybe you just want to, come back here and help Carl and defend him so he can get picks. Yeah, that's mostly attacking sniper. I mean, attacking spy. For defense, again, I just keep it classic. Keep the normal loadout of C and D. For defense spy, you're pretty much just wanting to call things. Playing on this thing is not bad. You can sometimes drop down for picks. Playing around here isn't bad. I usually like to try and get into the garage and just, lurk the sniper, see if I can't get a kill on him. Not here is not bad. There is a cheeky sniper spot right here where you can see through this little crescent and actually spot through it. So making sure you call the sniper is usually my number one defense priority. There's not much for the enemy combo to rotate. I mean, they're pretty much going to be fighting main. And if they ever leave main, they're going to go garage, and that push isn't much better. So I don't really focus too much on the combo here as much as I do on just making sure I give really good rapid callouts for my sniper so we can win this SVS, you know? Sniper's on the stair, like the stair shot, this crack shot. He's by the I don't know, I think we call this view. We'll come up with a better call out, but you know, he's by the pallets, he's looking through the fence, he's by the fences. Sniper's, you know, in the garage, he's peeking the window of garage, he's gonna peek the shutter of garage. He's on the barrels, he's behind the tire, playing behind the tire, etc. You know, I'm just trying to give as much sniper callouts as rapidly as possible. You know, so my sniper can know where to take the SVS, he can win it, and he cannot die. Because if sniper's alive on fourth, it's really hard for the enemy team to actually push this point. I mean, the defending sniper sees all of this down this entire, you know, long stretch. He's got a lot of shots to take. He can take a shot back up, take multiple shots, etc., and just really bully them from coming in. So helping your sniper win the SVS is pretty crucial on this point. A couple spots I like on defense spy, like I said, is, I mean, playing playing on these tires isn't bad. You can use these tires to your advantage. You can play on this little ridge if you really want to go for the combo. You can play just anywhere in this area, maybe on top of that fence. Where else? Where else? You can jump through this window here. You don't have to go around. I think you can. Yeah. You can jump through the window here if you need to get in. This is a spot to know about. I don't think I've ever used it, but you can jump up here and get into the bed of this truck. But it's just good to know about. I don't ever really use this, but it's there. Maybe you want to call the sniper from here and, you know, get in a position to drop down on him for a stab. So usually has quite a bit of defenders, if not one or two. What you can do is you can wait for the engineer to wrangle his mini or to start wrangling and then go on the sniper when he's distracted. And you don't want to trade your life, but playing a little bit more aggressive on this point for the sniper I think is not a bad idea. I think spy is a little bit less important because you don't have to call too many rotations from the enemy team, from their combos, so you get to put a lot of effort into making sure the sniper is not alive or not pressuring. But just try and do it safely if you can. And then sometimes I'll actually play around this bush if their team's pushed up a little bit further. Like maybe their team gets the cart around this slope. You know, I'll play in this bush looking for picks on the cart. Just trying to help stall the push out. Playing around this pack, you know, waiting for their team to maybe push out of here, their flank, and helping defend with our flank. So you have some options as defense spy. You can, you know, play here. You see the cart, a combo's pushing in. Maybe you drop down and look for a pick. But most of it, for me, most of the comms issue of this point is just calling where the sniper is, making sure the sniper doesn't get a good angle on your sniper before he knows, and you know, staying alive to get the best picks you can get, and playing smart. You don't have to, you know, feed or anything like that, but you can, you can play a little bit more aggressive on this point, I think, and be okay. Fourth point is usually, in my experience, we don't get to spend too much time defending fourth, because it's more of a team thing to defend fourth, not really like individual players doing really well. And spy, I don't think impacts fourth too much from the defensive side, but you know, staying alive and getting picks on the sniper is definitely useful. And calling the sniper is absolutely important to hold this point at all. So those are the things I would prioritize when playing fourth. Oh, and you can't actually peek through this window, so don't worry about this window. It's only one window. Peek out a garage. So, all right, moving on to last. Sorry. For last, I'll go over attack first. The way this point works for the teams is that you want to get to the cart to about, I don't know, this like box or these barrels, and then the cart isn't really going to be pushed much further. The defending team has a huge high ground here with stickies, rocket launchers. The heavy likes to sit on this platform looking straight down or on this light post looking down. So really hard to push this cart in without any pressure from another angle. The center gun's also looking down. So on attack, a lot of the times, I'm just trying to coordinate with my flank, give any information I can. I think this point is one of the harder points to play on attack, actually. It's pretty closed in. There's only a couple spots that I use. I usually run stock here, maybe Spicicle, but stock is pretty good. This corner is pretty solid. Sometimes you can get picks on the engineer if his sentry gun's here instead of the more defensive spot across or maybe even up top. But if the sentry gun's here, you know, you can play for the gun, sap it, you know, coordinate maybe with your soldier to spam it from lower or maybe from the window or something. The demo sometimes will also strafe this way. I've gotten good demo picks here. The medic likes to sit in a dispenser in this corner, so you don't really get the med pick, especially from that angle. The only way I've gotten a lot of chances to get med picks, but I've always beefed it or misread their strafe. Sometimes the medics will sit here and you're able to get on this platform without much, when no one's seeing you, and you can actually just kind of drop off and look for the stab on him. Definitely use stock if you're going to go for that. A med drop here is definitely really good, and I think you have a pretty decent success rate to go for it if you can get here unseen. You know, if the pyro's not sitting here spamming it or watching it, the demo's not really sitting in the doorway. Getting here is definitely an option, so be wary that they can't see you through this fence. But I've definitely gotten chances. I've had chances to get this drop before I've just missed it because I misread the strafe and I'm not too good at stair steps. So keep that in mind though. You can get it. Outside of that spot, in this spot, the only other two things I do on attacking spy is sometimes if their flank is really pushed up, so if the soldier and the sniper or the scout are all in this room, I'll definitely help wipe this out before going on the combo. Any picks matter on the attacking side, so any picks you get, no matter the class, it's actually really, really important and really nice. Obviously, there's better picks like the medic or the demo or the sentry gun or the sniper, but getting picks on anyone is really, really important because the respawn timer is really long here. So if you can get a pick on the flank, even two, it's absolutely worth going for. And they push up, I usually play on the flank. And you have some good angles, are usually distracted by someone fighting. Make sure you communicate that you want to decloak on the flank. You know, I say something like, I'm going on the flank, going on the flank in like 3 seconds. I'm decloaking on the flank now. It's like, there's like the comms I'll use. And you know, maybe your soldier swings this corner, shoots a rocket, and then you get the double stab. So definitely keep this in mind. Really strong to use when their flank's pushed up. The other part of attack spy, you can sometimes go upper. I'm not a huge fan of this. I don't think you get much. Sometimes the sniper will be positioned up here, like on this spot, looking down. You can actually shoot through this. The sniper can see through that doorway, but if the sniper's up here, I think it's really hard to actually backstab him when he's on this like platform. So I usually don't worry too much about it. I don't think the sniper's a huge pick on this point. He's not like other points, but obviously it helps. But I think some of the more explosive classes and it's more important. If the NG's up here, the gun also suffers the same issue where the angle the gun has isn't that devastating. And I usually don't prioritize it. I find it that it's really hard to actually get picks up here because the engineer will just shoot and check all this really commonly if he's up here, and it's kind of hard to backstab the spy. And if the gun's not up here, it's probably there. So as soon as you go on him, unless you crouch and shoot him twice, that's the only way you're gonna get this kill. And he can also hear you decloaking because you're pretty close. If you do want to go up here, decloaking from here and just walking in isn't a bad idea as long as you're disguised, obviously. Just I don't really like playing up here, but it's definitely something to keep in mind if you feel like you need to get a pick or you just want to, you know, maybe survey who's around where players are. So outside of that, for the attacking spy, sometimes I'll play under around here, helping again fight the flank with my flank. So like their flank might be holding if their soldier scout is actually holding down here. It's definitely not a bad option to come here and help your flank fight them and try and get picks. Maybe there's a mini down here or something yeah, like maybe the defending NG swapped them minis because there's like a pressure situation, so they're fighting down here. Definitely good to go down there and help. There's a lot of room down here. I didn't know you could get down this. But yeah. The last thing on attacking spy to remember is spy capping. Spy capping on this point is pretty huge. A lot of the times what actually ends up happening is you're pretty much just pushing the cart on perma respawn. I mean, you get it a little bit further, you get it a little bit further, you get a little bit further, and now it's on this platform about to fall in. Their team has to jump down and literally sit on top of it. So when that happens, some strategies that we might run is that you'll just permanently rotate your life for this pick. I mean, you know, if you can get a stab and push the cart a little bit further, I mean, that's huge. You're going to respawn faster than them, you're going to get back faster than they respawn. and we'll slowly dwindle their numbers down and be able to win the push. So early on, when the card is being pushed, you can maybe choose to go for this pick, or maybe go for the med drop or something, or play flank. But as the cart gets closer and closer, a lot of your time is just going to be going for stabs on the cart and pushing the cart in. The cart pressure at the last point is the most important, and you can actually decloak away from the sentry gun and go for it. So definitely use this. Very, very important when you start getting towards the end. As long as your team's backing you up and helping you. So even when they're not, I mean, sometimes you might just see an opportunity, push the cart. Make sure, another thing I do is I make sure that the cart's not rolling back. Anytime that I see the cart's rolling back and I actually recognize it, I try and just tap it real quick. I undisguise, just tap it real quick, just to reset it so it doesn't drift away. We lose precious card time, so yeah. Attacking fifth is, it can be kind of hard and you can feel like you're not doing much, but pressuring the card is always a good option. And, getting any picks is always important, but sometimes it can be really hard and definitely not my favorite point, but definitely some good spots to go for. You can also get up here. I don't think I've ever used this. I think I've used it like one time, but yeah, it's definitely something you can do. So for defense, I actually think I like defense. I'm a pretty big fan of defense last. A lot of the times on defense, I like to actually spot, similar to the third hold where you're sitting on the platform, I actually like to sit on this house and you get to spot a lot, you get to see a lot of information because this point is very, very important as defense spy to stay alive. This is again, you're playing it kind of like second, where we really need you alive to call rotations, and you want to be able to survey what's happening and put yourself in the position to help the most. And there's about two or three things you can fight on this point after their teams are rotated. But the best thing you can do is you can sit here and you can call exactly where their combo goes, and we'll probably be ended up using right and left callouts, but like the combo is pushing right sides. The combo's pushing this right area. The combo's going right, or the combo's going left upper, right upper. The combo's main or on tracks, or they're going underneath. All these are really important callouts, so a lot of the times I just try and get up here in a reset scenario, or even play over here and call as much as I can. Even if I see like I have a potential pick on the medic, I don't normally go for it unless I'm like almost certain I can get it, because it's not worth the pick or your life to trade it and die, or to not get the pick and die. So definitely very important that you stay alive to call where players are going, calling where the sniper's peeking, just so your sniper knows where the sniper's going. Because what we don't want to happen is we don't want their sniper to be able to walk like this, walk around the corner, get here, and then peek this window with no one knowing, or peek this side with no one knowing. Like, our team needs to know if the sniper's coming so they can rotate around it before the sniper gets a monster pick. So very important to call the sniper, and for the same reason, it's very important to call the combo. We don't want their combo getting all the way in red room before our combo's even rotated. Like, what if our demo's holding down here, holding the cart, and then their combo is just spamming into us. We have no space to control. So very, very important that you stay alive for this point, calling as much as possible. And then once players have decided, so like let's say the combo rotates to the left side, the NG and the scout and the soldier are down below, or maybe the soldier and the sniper are top right. This is where you get to decide what you want to do and what you want to help with. And normally what goes through my mind here is, okay, what's their Uber percentage at? Are we about to take an Uber exchange? Okay, how close is the cart? Maybe do I want to play on cart versus going for the post-Uber fight? Oh, is their sniper going to be uncontested? Do I need to go help? Like, do I see if my scout and soldier's dead, no one's going to contest him? So maybe I'll rotate towards the sniper. And I make these decisions pretty fast, depending obviously on who's doing well, what's the scariest thing right now? Like, is this sniper actually going to matter? Is the sniper just playing lower with the team? Is the cart really into that bad of a situation? Do I need to go help for the post-Uber fight, etc.? So if I want to, let's say, for example, we'll go for the first scenario. If I want to go help with the post-Uber exchange, I usually come here, play safe, spot players, and then, I kind of decloak around this corner before the Uber exchange or after the Uber exchange, and I look for the pick. You can play here. Jumping across here isn't bad. I think you can actually stand on these pipes. Yeah, you can play here and look for the pick. And another important thing to know is that sometimes what will happen is the attacking heavy will put himself in this window and look to spam out of this window, and this spot is really good to get him. Obviously, the other corner is solid too. Getting this heavy is a strong pick, so any pick on the combo is usually pretty good. The fights happen really fast, so once the Uber exchange is happening, it's pretty good for you to trade your life for combo picks there. Because if you kill their entire combo and they don't cap the point, they have to pretty much completely reset. As long as you get good picks and your team doesn't wipe. So once the enemy team commits to something is when I start actually engaging and fighting the enemy team, or I try to. Again, sometimes there will be some free picks you can get. Like, let's say their sniper's like, I don't know, backed all the way up here for some reason, and he's like trying to go for some, weird shot, like pixel shot between the two grounds, looking at the cart. If he's here, and I think you can just kind of walk around the corner and stab him. It's definitely worth it. Definitely good times to go for, and you can get it for free, and you won't die. So definitely go for the free stuff. Obviously, you don't want to pass up free kills, free respawns, and play it. Now, let's say their combo is more main, or they're up top, but you don't think you want to be there. Maybe they don't have Uber yet, and you want to play the cart. When you come down here, and there's a lot of cart pressure, a lot of the times the engineer will put a level 3 on this slope. I actually think the level 3 is a lot more important to sap than getting the picks. This is something that I realized later, and I haven't really got to play a scrim since then, or I haven't done it as much as I need to. The level 3 is actually a lot scarier for your team, and I definitely would prioritize getting the level 3 over other picks. Uh, if you can get the sniper and like the level 3, it's really good. If you can get the sniper and get away, it's solid. But this level 3 is really scary, so a lot of the times I go for the level 3, or I want to go for the level 3 sentry gun instead of any picks out in this little area. Obviously, if you can get a medic drop, it's probably better than a level 3, so keep that in mind. But level 3 is solid to get. Sometimes you'll end up having to play like here. Like maybe you'll get pushed and you can't really get onto the roof, so you play up here and you just call stuff. If you see the sniper goes over here, maybe I'll decloak on him, check behind me obviously, and try and defend anything. Calling your flank to help fight with you, get the picks and the distractions. Again, walking around and going for the heavy is really solid, and using your gun to help fight is really useful. On this point, if I really want to go on anything, I just ask my flank to help, and uh, just choose one of the three places to get the picks. Going under is always good. Sometimes there's uh, the attacking side will put a minigun, a mini sentry in here, and your scout can't really fight lower like she wants to or they want to. So you'll have to come down here and help fight the engineer with them, and so you can kick them out. Sometimes I will spot from here, just seeing where they're coming from, early, getting the information, calling the sniper again, calling rotates. Uh, if you guys wipe them and the medic is all alone, I will sometimes risk going for that medic. But I recommend that you call your teammates to help. So like if your scout is alive and they can get to you, just let them know that like, hey, the medic's alone. They're catchable. I'm about to decloak on the medic. That's a great comm to call. The scout's gonna be like, oh, where are they? So just try and also adjust the call to say like, okay, the medic's alone at top of tracks. I'm gonna decloak on them, and then maybe your scout can rotate and give you that extra damage to secure the kill. So just communicate if you're ever gonna go, or if the medic's ever alone. Very useful. Sometimes you have players and flank players who like to play a little bit more on flank and less control-y. So just use them to your advantage. Call them in, say, hey, can you come and help me? Or, use them as a distraction, get them to communicate with you. Like if you see them coming in, for example, sometimes what happens in some of the scrims I've played, our scout will just run out of this doorway and start shooting them, and the whole team will look at them, and maybe I just decloak around here and I look for the pick on the medic while they're back strafing. If you don't get it, it is kind of risky again, but sometimes the opportunities arise, and you get away with it, and it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it if you can get the pick and get out, obviously. So you can make the judgment call. You'll make mistakes. You'll make great plays, and both will happen, and you'll just have to learn when to go for them and when to not. The only way you do that is by trying both. So don't be afraid to go for stuff, but just try to remember that usually communication is going to be a little bit better and a lot more safer, a lot more consistent. So just keep it in mind. But sometimes if you see a pick that you can get for free and get away, like go for it. Don't pass it up, and you'll learn which ones are good, which ones are bad, and I'll look over your demos and help you. Outside of defense here, um, sometimes you just gotta run gun spy and shoot people. You just gotta walk at people and shoot them so they're not a pressure. Especially when the cart's being really hard pressured. You gotta be the one that jumps on this cart. You gotta look for any picks. I mean, any extra seconds matters when playing this map. I've definitely had games decided by overtime or by 3 second like 3 seconds. So every second matters. Every chance to get an extra second on the clock or stall for an extra second absolutely helps. So definitely jump on the cart if you need to. And helping defend the cart in those panic situations is really useful. So I usually, again, maybe this is when you break out the Kuna. Maybe you jump down and you get a stab and you like go for your trick stabs. If the cart is in a panic situation, that's the time to go for the ultimate hero play. I think running kunai there is definitely solid, or big earner or something. So just keep that in mind. If you want to play your pub spy, that's the time when the cart's close. We're about to be capped. Yeah, I think that's about it for Swiftwater. I'll probably go over one of my demos. I'll probably do my advanced tryout. I think I played really well in that, and there's definitely some mistakes I made as well, and you can see where I get away with stuff that I don't deserve. And I'll tell you some of the comms I'm making. It'll probably be more focused on comms, but I'll talk briefly about some of the spots I use and why I use them, and it'll go along with the map review. So that's about it for now. I think that's it for Swiftwater. I don't think there's much else to talk about. If I think of anything, I'll let you know. And hopefully we can play a scrim or something soon so you can look over some of your own games.